about 20 years old, we went out because we were heavily into the rave scene. We loved to party, absolutely loved the drugs as well. I honestly did not feel anything. I thought I was fine. And then all of a sudden I woke up in hospital one morning after being in a coma for 3 days. And then my mum told me I was in an accident. You know, I was so young, 20 years old. I had no idea how much trouble I was in. I just thought it was a really tragic accident.
So what were the charges in the end?
I got charged with 1 count of culpable driving, causing death. I got 5 years jail with 2.5 years to serve.
Sure.
I lost just my general direction in life. Obviously my best friend. I couldn't even walk. I had to learn how to walk again and speak again and learn how to do daily things such as shopping. So just, yeah, my independence in general. After a while, I lost my freedom. I lost my licence, of course. Now I'm a 25-year-old having to rely on my parents to drive me around and the bus. Well, it all started when I was about 14 years old.
Okay.
I put it down to the fact that I wanted to fit in and be popular. Actually, the guy who died in my car accident, yeah, he goes, "Jenna, come over to my place one night and we'll have some bongs." And I had no idea what that was at the time. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no education about it.
Did you actually move into the hard drug space at any point?
I did. I was only 15. I remember I had this boyfriend and we were in his caravan, and I can't even remember where it came from, but somehow we obtained some speed. And then I'd find myself venturing out in the city and not coming back for about 3 days and just being awake for 3 days, walking around and just doing nothing, you know, just being off my face with my boyfriend at the time and his mate.
What happens after that to your body?
Oh, you just absolutely feel like crap, and then you have to come home and face reality, because eventually you do have to come home and face your family. Well, I did at the time because I was still living there. And they'd say, "Where have you been?" And I didn't even know how to answer that because not even I knew where I'd been. What was I doing for the last 3 days?
So physically sick?
Haven't slept for 3 days,
Yeah.
no food.
Yuck.
Yeah, not a nice feeling. Things would seem so funny. Everything was just hilarious, even though we didn't even know what we were laughing about at the time. That's all I wanted. I just wanted fun, fun, fun with no consequences. And you think you're awesome friends because you're both off your face and just having a really great time. But then when something happens and they're not beside you near your hospital bed, you realise who is and who really does care. The consequences of picking up that first cigarette or having that first bong. Because if I didn't have that first bong, where would I be now? I'd probably be a doctor. I was so smart. I was getting A grades my whole way through primary school and high school up until, you know, year 8. Think really, really hard about what you're doing, because with that kind of stuff, you don't know where you're going to end up. I would never have pictured myself being in prison, never. From the age of 14, just from making those small decisions, that's where it landed me.